After months of hype, we finally have the launch of the Samsung Galaxy Ring. And this is a big deal because it's a first. Samsung's launched plenty of phones and smartwatches and tablets and laptops and on and on and on, but it's never launched a smart ring before. As such, you probably have a lot of questions, and I am here to answer as many of them as possible. Let's start out with the biggest question: how much is it and what do you get? For the Galaxy Ring, you'll pay $399. That gets you the ring itself and a charging case. The ring comes in 3 colors at the moment, 2 of which are matte and 1 is glossy. Titanium black and titanium silver will be your matte options, and if you want something that's a little more shiny, you can always go with titanium gold. Another of the most significant questions here is, does the ring require a subscription? So let's give you a little background on this. Samsung's main competitor with the Galaxy Ring is a company called Aura, which has been making smart rings for a number of years now. Aura does have a subscription-based model. It's $5.99 a month to use the ring's features. But the Samsung Galaxy Ring does not have a subscription. That's right, you pay your $399 for the Galaxy Ring, and then you can use it for everything as advertised without having to pay a monthly or yearly fee. Of course, it doesn't mean that Samsung couldn't offer some sort of subscription program down the road, but for now, the Samsung Galaxy Ring is a one-time purchase. A lot of people watching this are probably big Samsung fans, but for those of you who aren't Samsung fans, you might be wondering, can you use the Ring without a Samsung phone? And the answer to this is yes. In fact, almost every feature of the Galaxy Ring will work with pretty much any modern Android phone. Now, keep in mind, it does not work with iPhone. So if you're an Apple user, unfortunately, you're gonna have to skip this one. But if you have an Android phone that's been released in the past few years, chances are very high that you will be able to use the Galaxy Ring's features. There is one notable exception here though. There is a feature called Energy Score. This gives you an idea of how healthy you are any given day based on your sleep and your diet and your activity from the previous day, etc. There are insights that Galaxy AI can provide based on your energy score. Since these insights are based on Galaxy AI, that is only going to work when it's connected to a Samsung phone. So, other than this one thing, everything else will work with pretty much any other Android phone. So if you're not a Samsung fan, don't worry, you still could possibly get a Galaxy Ring. So you've decided that you want a Galaxy Ring. How do you go about figuring out which size to get? Well, if you're thinking about doing this based on ring sizes for other rings that you've bought, you probably don't want to do that. That's because the sizing that Samsung has chosen for the Galaxy Ring doesn't exactly match up with US ring sizes. We highly suggest using the sizing kit. This comes with 9 different plastic rings that you can wear for 24 to 48 hours to get a good idea of whether or not it's a good fit. Once you've figured out which size works best for your finger, you can then order the ring in that size. Be careful here though, you don't want to get something that's too tight, because your fingers do change in size very, very imperceptibly. So you don't want to get something too snug, but at the same time, you don't want to get something too loose. That's why the sizing kit is essential before you make your purchase. If you're ordering your ring from Samsung.com, you definitely will get the sizing kit, and you can also buy the sizing kit from some partner establishments like Best Buy. Keep in mind too that you don't need to send back the sizing kit. Once you've used it and figured out what size you want, you could keep it, throw it away, or lend it to a friend so they can use it to figure out what size ring they should get. Why would you get a Samsung Galaxy Ring instead of a smartwatch? Well, the 2 main reasons are that the Galaxy Ring doesn't have a display, so therefore its battery life is going to be a lot better than a smartwatch. Second, it's a lot smaller than a smartwatch, so it's less obtrusive. It's not going to get caught in your shirt sleeve, and it's going to be a lot more comfortable for things like sleeping. With better battery life on the Galaxy Ring than on your traditional smartwatch, you're going to be able to get 24/7 health tracking. This is going to make it especially powerful for wearing it to bed. Speaking of battery life, you are probably wondering just how long a Samsung Galaxy Ring will actually last on your finger. So depending on the size of ring that you get, you should get about 6 to 7 days of battery life off of one charge. And the charging case has 1.5x a charge of a ring. So putting it all together, you should get about 15 to 16 days of battery life without needing to go to an outlet. This is obviously way better than almost every smartwatch on the market. So the Galaxy Ring is perfectly designed for 24/7 wear. If you're thinking about buying a Galaxy Ring for tracking your health, you should know that it doesn't track nearly as many things as a smartwatch. Generally, you're going to get health tracking such as your steps, your heart rate, your sleep tracking, and some very basic activities like walking and running. You're not going to have access to all sorts of health tracking things like ECG or even specific fitness things like cycling, skiing, swimming, etc. This is just going to record your basic health stats. Obviously, that's not a lot. But remember, this is not supposed to replace a smartwatch. It's supposed to be used in tandem with the smartwatch. Samsung envisions you using the Galaxy Ring for when you're just walking around or sleeping or doing basic things, and then using your smartwatch to track things that are more specific, such as your running or your cycling, etc. Don't think of the Galaxy Ring as not having a lot of features. Think of it as just being something that specifically does only a few things on purpose. Most people, before they get in the shower, they take off their smartwatch. Are you going to have to take off your ring when you get in the shower? And the answer to that is no. Since the Ring is so simple, it is IP68 rated, so you can take it into the shower without an issue. And in fact, it's also 10 ATM rated, which means it can go as deep as 100 meters down, which is about 328 feet. So you could even take this for a deep dive if you wanted and wouldn't have to worry about it breaking. Because the Galaxy Ring is so small, you might be worried about losing it. Well, Samsung has thought of this too. If you lose the Galaxy Ring, you can use the Samsung Find service to then try and track it. What it'll do is it'll remember the last known location of the Ring, and then you can get to that location, and then trigger a find service that will light up the Ring in red and green so you can more easily find it. Do keep in mind though that it doesn't vibrate and it doesn't make any noise. You're only going to be able to visually find it. So, who should buy the Galaxy Ring? Generally, there are three people that this product is specifically designed for. Number one is people who already own a smartwatch and love it, but hate that it doesn't last for multiple days on a charge. With the Galaxy Ring and your smartwatch, you can fill in the gaps that your smartwatch misses. For example, like I said earlier, you can take it off before you go to bed so you can get that sleep tracking. Or you can take your smartwatch off when you go into the pool or when you're taking a shower, and then keep tracking your health even though you're not wearing your watch at the moment. The second person who this would definitely be a good idea for would be for people who don't own a smartwatch and don't care about smartwatch features. They don't want notifications, they don't want deep analytics into their health, they just want something that can track their steps, be on for many days without needing a charge, and give them sleep tracking data. For those people, the Galaxy Ring is a perfect middle solution between not having a smartwatch and having a smartwatch. And finally, the third person who would probably love this is somebody who is just already devoted to the Samsung ecosystem. If you're already rocking a Galaxy phone, and a Galaxy tablet, and a Galaxy laptop, you might as well also go for the Galaxy Ring because it's a new product from Samsung and you're really excited about it. But who shouldn't buy the Galaxy Ring? Well, the most obvious person is somebody with an iPhone. You cannot use the Galaxy Ring because it will not connect to your phone. So you're gonna have to skip this one and get an Aura Ring instead, because Aura does support both Android and iOS. But keep in mind, Aura also requires a subscription, so you're gonna have to get a little on that one. Also, if you're somebody who has a very old or very obscure Android phone, you're probably not gonna wanna get a Galaxy Ring because you may face compatibility issues between the old Android operating system or between a phone that is not super popular. If that is the case, you're going to need to upgrade your phone to something else to make sure that you get all the features of the Galaxy Ring. Finally, if you're somebody who wants the features of a smartwatch but doesn't want a smartwatch, the Galaxy Ring isn't going to fill that gap for you. You're not going to get notifications on the Galaxy Watch, you're not going to get robust health tracking, and you're not going to get any of the apps and services that you get from a smartwatch. The Galaxy Ring is its own thing. It is not a smartwatch replacement, so don't think that's what you're going to get if you buy one. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the Galaxy Ring, but keep in mind, this is a first generation product from Samsung. Traditionally, first generation products have a lot of problems, especially when it comes to something that's so new as the smart ring category, which hasn't even been around that long. So it may be worth watching to see how this one plays out and possibly think about getting the Galaxy Ring 2 sometime later. But if you're ready to be an early adopter and love the idea of having a ring working in tandem with both your phone and your smartwatch, the Galaxy Ring is definitely worth a look. And without a subscription, that one-time fee isn't super bad, especially when compared to the competition. But in the meantime, I will see you guys in the next video.